guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a new video. So the last piece of carbon that I want to get on the car, at least right now, are the mirror caps. Now I did the front lip by Autotechnic. I did a new rear spoiler, CS style from Autotechnic. I also did their rear diffuser as well. And I was waiting on the mirror caps to come in. So they finally came in. We can finally install them. It's gonna kind of complete my carbon exterior, kind of refresh and get it to where I want. Now, I do want to get some carbon side skirts. I do like the way they look. And I'm also thinking about changing up the spoiler in the back. I think I wanna go to the M Performance style. I do like the CS style, but I think with this body style, the F80, just the smooth lines of the M Performance style, I think looks better. So I may be switching that up, but this one's not bad. It has great fitment and I've enjoyed it, but I may switch that over. Also the diffuser, I may go to a different diffuser as well. I do like this one, it's the M Performance style, but I do like the one piece that wraps all the way around as well. So I may be going to one of those, but I'm trying my best to just leave it alone for now, enjoy it for what I have, and then down the line, you know, change it up and go to that. Something to look forward to. But we're going to install the mirror caps in this video. It's a pretty simple process, but it can be a little bit tricky. So I kind of wanted to show you the step-by-step on how to get this done. Now, I do like the way the stock mirror caps look. Obviously, they're paint matched, mineral gray. It looks great, but I'm always a big fan of having carbon mirror caps. I did it on my E46 M3. I did it on my STI. It's just something that I like to do. Plus, carbon on mineral gray is a good mix because it doesn't stand out too much where you can tell something is aftermarket. Kind of blends really nicely and it doesn't stand out too much. So I think it would look really good. So finally got the mirror caps from Autotechnic. I'm going to go over real quick as to what dry carbon is and wet carbon. I know a lot of people get this confused, but I figured I would explain it in this video because I was looking for a specific kind. Now, the style or kind of carbon that I was looking for is called dry carbon. What a lot of people think dry carbon is literally, you know, not a gloss finish. However, that is false. Dry carbon is actually a carbon piece, so a full carbon replacement, whereas wet carbon is a plastic or fiberglass piece with carbon overlay on top of that. So wet carbon actually is quite a bit thicker, the piece overall. They are much cheaper because it's not a full carbon piece. Dry carbon usually is a little bit more expensive, but it also fits nicer, in my opinion, looks better, and you're replacing a full plastic piece with a real carbon piece. So you can weigh grains of salt here saying that this is a little bit lighter than that, which I doubt because they're both very light, but it's still something to compare because obviously dry carbon is going to be way lighter overall than wet carbon. So it doesn't have anything to do with the actual finish. It has to do with the actual product. And yes, I'm going to throw a quick layer of C-Quartz Deluxe on here. I've been throwing it on all the carbon that I have on the car. The car is already PPF'd as well as ceramic coated. I did buy the car used, obviously, since it's 2023 and this is 2018. But I'm not really sure what ceramic is on here, but it is very, very, very good. One of the best I've ever seen. The gloss on it, even with the PPF on it, the hydrophobic properties of the ceramic that is on it is pretty insane. My soap, my Kachemi GSF that I use on all my cars has a hard time sticking to the paint when I'm actually washing the car. So I'm very, very happy with it. But what I've been using just as a quick ceramic to throw on all the carbon is C-Quartz Deluxe. Now I do have XO, V4 and CSL that I normally do on my cars, but I figured this is a one-step process and at least get something on there. Eventually one day I'm going to strip the PPF and do a full correction if it needs it and do a complete new ceramic on it. I'll probably go to G-Technic CSL Ultra, but for now I'm very happy with it and there's no need to change. So I'm just going to throw some C-Quartz Deluxe on here. Now I'm going to wait to put them on the car to ceramic coat them because I don't want to handle them once I've got it on. I want them to cure overnight and everything and not me kind of fiddling with them and kind of messing up the ceramic before it cures. So we'll wait to put them on the car and then ceramic coat them. But the tools that you're going to need are these. You're going to need some type of pick tool or pry tool and some tape. The really cool thing about the F80 is you do not have to remove anything to get to the caps. If we look on this side, you can see this gap right here. So that is actually where we're going to pry from. Now on other F chassis, the non-M cars, you actually need to remove the glass to get behind there to release the clips. On the F80, M3, F82, M4, it is much easier. You don't have to remove any glass, which is really nice because this is a $400 piece of glass. You obviously don't want to break it. So I much prefer this method. So let's get started. Let's go ahead and get things ready, and I'll show you what to do. All right, so first step, in order to get the caps off, we're actually going to use some painter's tape. You can use any tape you want, obviously something not like duct tape, anything too sticky, but you just want to be able to use a strong enough tape to hold it into place, because what we're actually going to be doing is prying towards the front of the car, and if you don't have tape on there, the cap is going to go flying. I've seen many people do this. I know a lot of friends that have told me to do this kind of precautionary step, so that is what we're going to do. All we're going to do is take some tape and kind of just tape on the bottom here, and it'll hold just fine. That is all you're going to need. Obviously, you can see that the ceramic is so good on this car that it's having trouble sticking to the painter's tape. But that is all you need, just so it doesn't go flying forward. But let's go ahead and pry this piece off. All right, so as I mentioned, there is a groove at the top of the mirror. We're going to take our pry tool. You can use pretty much anything you want. And we're actually going to apply some pressure. So you just get under there. You can use a hammer or rubber mallet, whatever you want to use. But I'm just going to try using the force of my hand, just kind of banging on it, and see if I can pop it off that way. All right, so we got the cap off, no problem, nothing broke, all the tabs are intact. And what I ended up doing was using two different pry tools. So what I did is got one pry tool under the top corner here, kind of got it in a little bit, and then tapped it with my hand. This side popped out. Then I got another one, got underneath, same thing, and it popped out. And the good thing is it didn't come flying forward because of the tape, didn't fall on the ground, so we didn't damage this mirror cap at all. Nice thing is these are actually PPF'd as well. You can kind of see the edging along the side of the mirror cap, so these are in beautiful shape, and they will continue to stay in great shape, and I can always go back to those if I want to. So now what we're going to do is take the Auto Technic carbon one, and this is how you're going to install it. As you can see, all the clips, they pop into the necessary areas right here. So the little tabs on the bottom right there, you want to make sure those go in first. So they go in right here and right here. So you want to make sure those are lined up first, and then you can kind of maneuver around and get everything popped in properly. So let's go ahead, wish me luck. Hopefully this doesn't break. It shouldn't, but let's hope everything goes smoothly and it gets on nice and safe. All right, so that popped in absolutely perfect. The fitment on this is absolutely OEM. I mean, honestly, it doesn't pop up any higher than OEM. All the gapping and everything is exactly the same. So I'm very, very pleased with the fitment on that. So there is a good example as to why I prefer dry carbon over wet carbon, because it is much thinner and it's exactly the same size as the OEM cap. Whereas a wet carbon piece, it would be much thicker, and you would probably see it bump up a little bit and obviously not fit as well. So there we go. So it adds a nice little touch. Again, it blends in enough where you can't really tell, but then you come up close and you're like, wow, that's nice. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and do the exact same thing on the driver's side, get that knocked out. Then we go ahead and coat these. I also want to update you guys real quick on some updates I did with my pressure washer system as well. I did that a couple months ago, actually at the beginning of the year, and I made a few updates. So I just wanted to show you the updates that I just did the other day. So carbon on the passenger side, let's get the driver's side knocked out. All right, beautiful. Everything fits perfect. There's no gaps anywhere. Obviously feel around all the edges to make sure it's not popping out anywhere and all the clips are in properly, and we're good to go. So now I'm going to throw a quick layer of Quartz Deluxe on here, and we can get this wrapped up. All right, guys, install complete. Everything's ceramic coated. I'm gonna let these cure overnight. Obviously, you can't get them wet for, I usually wait at least 24 hours. I don't plan on driving this car tomorrow since it is supposed to rain. I plan on driving the truck, so it's gonna stay here in the garage. On the weekend, I'm gonna clean this up. I haven't washed it in a few weeks, and I've been driving a lot, as you can tell, all the brake dust. But absolutely love how this turned out. I've been waiting on these mirror caps for like 2 months, and they finally came in, and it is a great addition to the car. Carbon mirror caps I usually prefer on darker colored cars just because, like I said, it blends in more, whereas like a white or something very bright, they kind of stand out a little bit too much, and they can look a little goofy. I can understand that, but it's carbon fiber. Hard to complain about that. But let me just kind of show you the overall fitment so you guys get an idea. It literally fits exactly like OEM. There's no strange gaps or anything like that. I was gonna go with the OEM M Performance ones, but after hearing how great these actually fit and how much cheaper these are about $350, whereas the OEM M Performance ones were about $1,000. So save about $700 or so, $650. And the weave is beautiful. There's no crazy bends or anything like that. It looks very nice. It's on par with the very nice, expensive $800 carbon lip. So everything is matching. Everything is Auto Technic. So it's all the same carbon. It's all from the same place, and it's all the exact same weave. And overall, very happy. I'll show you the driver's side just so you can see the fitment on this. Again, perfect, just like OEM. There's no strange gaps or anything. It's not popping out anywhere. It looks perfect and just like OEM. I'm very impressed. So if you guys are interested in a cheaper alternative to some carbon mirror caps, highly recommend the Auto Technic ones. They fit beautifully, as you can see. They look great. And yeah, can't recommend them enough. Real quick, before we wrap up the video, I wanted to update you guys on my pressure washer setup. Matt Mormon, you guys may know him from Obsessed Garage. He pieced this whole thing together. He kind of creates solutions for guys like us that are obsessed and enjoy things like this. I love washing cars. It's one of my kind of therapies, one of the things I enjoy doing in life to kind of get away and just spend some time in the cars. So I don't mind investing on a clean washing setup. I used to have like a $60 Greenworks pressure washer that I used for many years. It worked great, and honestly, I had no need to really upgrade, but I got to the point where that was about 5, 6, 7 years old, and I just wanted something nicer. Plus, I really wanted a nice way to wrap up the pressure washer line, and the Cox hose reel is perfect. So this is the whole setup. I did a whole entire video on setting this up, but some updates I did the other night that I wanted to update you guys with. I actually hard mounted the pressure washer up here. I used to use, well, I'm still using it, some Easy Pass Velcro, some really thick Velcro that holds it on there, so it's serviceable. I can take it off if I want to. But what I started realizing is when I had this connected, it was kind of pulling the pressure washer forward, and I was afraid it was going to fall off when I was using it. So what I actually did is drilled a small hole in the little lip right here of the plastic, and then a small hole through the stainless shelf. Now the shelf is about $100, so it's up to you if you want to do that. But I decided it was worth it, and I didn't feel like dropping this $400 pressure washer off the shelf to its demise down here. So did one screw in the back here, of course titanium, and just did a washer and a nut, of course titanium, and it's held on beautifully. It's nice and snug on there, so it's not going anywhere. I also took off the little elbow that I used to have here. It was one of these stainless elbows. I used to have it on the Cox hose reel end right here, the connection point, but I decided to take it off and simplify it and just do it right into there, which most people do. But I decided to change it up and clean it up, so I did that. Cleaned up the lines over here so it's nice and even, and kind of tuck this up out of the way. The one that it comes with, the connection point, it comes straight out. So this whole jumper line is like 2 feet away from the pressure washer. So what I ended up doing was getting a quick disconnect with the stainless elbow here, so I can disconnect this, drain this line, and then just connect it right back in, and I'm good to go. I also did a little mount on the side of the shelf for my Mosmatic hose wand. Now, I used to just hang it on a nail over here, and I never liked that. I was gonna get the Mosmatic little wand holder, but it's like $120 for a metal tube. And now I love spending money. I love getting nice things, but I just didn't find that necessary. So what I did was get a nice bolt with no threads on the end, so it's not gonna chew up the handle. And then I just did a double nut method, drilled a hole in the side, of course titanium. I have a bunch of titanium hardware, and now I can simply just hang it there and it looks nice and clean. It's out of the way, and I'm really, really happy with that. The only thing I want to do, well, there's a couple other things, but one thing I want to do soon is actually put an outlet up here, because I have to run the wire all the way to the other side of the garage over there to power this thing. I would really like to get an outlet right there, shorten the cord, and be able to just plug it in there and not have to worry about plugging it in and having a line going across the garage. So that is soon. Also, I do plan, or I want to finish off the sheetrock in the garage. Now, the sheetrock facing the house or connecting to the house is already done, but during the home build, way back then when this house was built, you didn't have to put insulation or sheetrock parts of the garage that aren't touching the house. So I do want to insulate all this, sheetrock it, make it super pretty, really nice, and then that is going to look even nicer. I'm going to leave the boards behind there so I have a nice mounting point, and everything will be set. So I do plan on eventually sheetrocking this, making it really nice. I may do some nice metal board behind there or something just to protect the sheetrock from any water or anything. I don't know, we'll see. But for now, it's good, it works, it's functional, it looks great. If you guys are interested in this whole setup, I'm gonna leave a link below for you guys. It's beautiful, a little expensive, but I highly recommend it. All right, so that is gonna wrap it up for the install of the Auto-Technic carbon fiber mirror caps. Beautiful, again, I said this 1,000 times, but I'm very, very happy with that. Fit beautifully, looks beautiful, and it looks great on the car. Matches all the carbon, and it's a plus in my book. Next thing up, we're actually going to be doing the suspension. You guys may notice over here, I used to have this sleeve over kit from KW. Ended up selling that off. Somebody bought it, and I already purchased some KW V3s. So those are coming in. They should be in 2 days. So once those come in, we're going to be installing the coilovers on the car. Get this thing lowered finally, get it set up perfectly. Going to go way lower. Honestly, it's going to be pretty darn low, but still functional. And then we're going to get to installing the TE37 SLs. Got to go pick up the tires from my buddy, so we're going to go do that as well and get everything set up. And man, I cannot wait. I'm hoping to get this car not finished, but everything that I did have initially all set and done, so I can enjoy this car through the cooler months, through the autumn. Obviously this car is going to be stored in the winter, but I want to enjoy it during like October and the cooler months, because that's my favorite time of the year, and why not enjoy the car? So that's going to do it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed the install of the carbon fiber mirrors from Auto-Technic, the update on the pressure washer system. And if you guys have any other questions about the car, please leave them in the comments below. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.